Be so kind to please, for the photographers to finish up doing their work. And it's also important, please, the moment the press conference starts, no more photographs, no more photos, okay? The moment the press conference starts, no more photos. Simple as that. Yep, that's right. Absolutely. So we've got the director of Denis Villeneuve, we've got the producer, Kyra Davis, and we've got the actor, Mr. Hugh Jackman, who we can say, Luis, he's the Donostia Award this year, by the way.
Chaldion. Can I?
Yeah. Silencio, por favor.
Chaldion. It is so amazing to be here in San Sebastian. You make us feel so at home. So at home, in fact, that even the translator right now is an Australian. So, gracias. What's your name?
Luis.
Luis, stand up. Put your hand up.
Luis.
No, out the window. Luis. In Australian, that's Lewis.
That's right.
Okay, so let's go. First question, please.
First question, please. Yes. Congratulations for your award, and I would like to know what it means for you to receive the Donostia Award. And as regards the film, talk to about what ethical or moral position do you take vis-a-vis the issue addressed in the film of the kidnapping and the violence that took place in the film? Okay.
Firstly, I have to say how humbled, how grateful, how surprised I am to get the Donosti Award. It is that how you pronounce it? Donosti? Donosti?
Yes, that's right. That's right. Donosti.
Even the Aussies telling me, yeah, you're right, mate. You're right, mate. It means a lot to me for many reasons. It's a rare thing as an actor to look back. I'm someone who believes it's always better to just try and be awake where you are. Maybe you think ahead to the future, what else can be challenging, and to have a moment to think back, to receive this honor from such a prestigious festival. And I, of course, know that some of the other names that have won this award. It humbles me completely. And I have to tell you or remind you that my wife, Deborah Lee Finesse, won the Silver Seashell here in the 90s. So this particular award is at home. We're going to call it our Jackman Finesse Family Film Festival, if that's okay with you. And in regards to the film, it's a great question. I think one of the great things this film does is remind us all how easy it is to judge morally what somebody does in life, but how almost impossible it is to know unless you're in the shoes of someone going through something so tragic. It extrapolates out beyond just parents, I think, to countries. Under the incredible direction of this man to my right, Denis Villeneuve, it doesn't answer questions. It allows the audience to make up their own mind, if they can make up their own mind. And it's a rare thing for a Hollywood movie. I have to say the woman who made it all possible is on our right, Kyra, or as we say in Australia, Kyra. Right, Lewis? Yeah, you got that one wrong, mate, so it's Kyra. That Kyra had the courage to convince Alcon to make a movie that is thrilling, yes, but also thought-provoking and moving. So, sorry, I feel like I've taken too much time.
Pónganse de pie, por favor, para las preguntas.
Please stand up for your questions. At the back.
I'd like to know if during this work at this movie you had a glimpse about your being a father, and did you see your kids basically in another vision, under another point of view, let's say? And the second question is, working with Jake, if you had the possibility to confront as men about what usually you can do as men in situations like, of course, not like that.
Is it me or Denis?
For you, sorry.
In terms of with Jake, working with Jake, which Denis had done. It's Denis' second film with him. I had not met him before. We actually have the same agent, so it was such a joy to meet him. I've been a big fan of his work. We worked very well together. We both like to rehearse. We both like to talk about things, about the script and the story. We have a lot in common, and then on the day we both felt a trust and a freedom under this man's direction to be able to ad-lib and to play and to explore. The difficult thing about making a movie like this is you can only plan to a certain degree because a lot of the emotions are very primal emotions. They're not, people's actions are not thought about, they're just instinctive. And to inhabit that space, you need to actually do that as an actor. Obviously you trust each other, but let's see what happens, you know. I'm sorry, what was the first question?
First one, if you had new glimpses about being a father in a true, of course, life.
Well, doing the research for this film was some of the most difficult research I've ever done. Looking into the real-life crimes, the victims, how it affects parents, siblings, communities, cops. It's truly devastating. And by the way, if you ever think that this film is too much or not realistic, I can tell you that there are many situations even worse than this, far greater. It is something so devastating that it, of course, makes you question how I am as a parent. Are we being naive? Have I prepared my children enough? At the same time, I don't want my children to go out in the world in a paranoid way. I want them to want to explore the world. I want them to be careful, but at the same time, to be fearless in the way they go out in the world. That's how I was. If I think back to things I did when I was 18, in this country as well, when I was traveling, I'm sure my father was glad he didn't know what I was doing. So, you know, I want my kids to go out in the same way, you know?
I really don't have a question about the...
Okay.
Mr. Jackman?
Oh, sorry.
Yes, sorry. Congratulations on your prize. And I came here with my partner. We represent a website dedicated to sci-fi and horror movies.
Right.
And we wonder if we can give you a little tribute. It's a caricature of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I'm looking at your beard. I'm wondering if you're the caricature. I'm not sure. It's a very Wolverine beard. Gracias. Gracias. Gracias.
Siguiente pregunta, por favor. Vamos haciendo un momentito.
There we go. Gracias.
It looks so real.
Thank you, abandonedmovies.com. Gracias.
The next question, please.
Next question, please. First of all, Hugh Jackman, we know that you've been around the city. What do you think of the city? I don't know, it's the first time you visited, so what did you think of it? And secondly, I'd like to know, to the director, at the beginning of the film, there's a moment when they arrest Alex. I don't know whether it was a mirage. For a few seconds, we saw that someone was tied up to a tree. I'm not too sure. I talked to some colleagues who saw the same thing. I'm not too sure whether that was a mirage or we saw something that wasn't there, but could you explain that?
This is how hard it was for Denis to understand me on the set.
You must slow it down. Your Australian accent is too much. Slow.
Strong accent.
Strong.
Yeah. No, I'm joking, but
He's talking. She says that there's a scene at the beginning, and she doesn't know whether it's a mirage or something that they've seen. Some colleagues. There's somebody hanging in a tree when they arrest Alex. Is that there or not, or did they just seem to see something? Okay.
go to cinema not to drink before or to use drugs. I apologize. I don't know what you're talking about. I really apologize.
But I'm going to go back and watch it now.
No, but the thing is that when you make a film, you see the movie like 500 times. We scan also... maybe a paparazzi, I don't know.
I think it was the last take we tied Jake to the tree.
Yeah.
I apologize, I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, what was the first question again?
How did you like San Sebastian? so
Thank
far?
you. Yes, that was a great question. I'm a morning person, which means this morning the people from the festival, I said, I really love to ride my bike, and this beach just reminds me of Bondi Beach in Sydney, and I've always wanted to come to San Sebastian. I'm going to go out and ride my bike. And they says, no, you don't run on. There's so many people everywhere. And I was like, okay. So I woke up at 8:30 this morning. Nobody. I swam, I went around. I did go, Denis and I, we rode our bikes. It was the most blissful 2 hours. We rode through the city. We went past the university. There was once the group of university students out the front at 9 o'clock, the early lecture, smoking, and they look at me, they're like, The moral of the story is if you want to be left alone in Spain, wake up early.
Okay, here on the...
Hi, good afternoon. Congratulations for the Nosti Award and this film, which is a splendid film with this character who's very dark, and that over the years we're seeing your register as an actor is important but you see that you're getting into things that are darker, albeit you still cultivate Wolverine. I would like you to tell us what part of your repertoire do you enjoy most doing, and whether it's a pity, do you feel it's a pity to leave behind the so-called sex symbol that we all see, by the way?
What? Leave it behind?
No.
Here's the thing about the sex symbol thing. I never believe it, because when I was 18, nobody, trust me, was saying, oh, sexiest man alive. Why doesn't it happen when you really need it, when you're 18, 19, or 20? Not when you've been married for 15 years. It's like, well, I can't wake up in the morning and go, hey, baby, hey. She's like, put the garbage out. There's two things that, in a way, that happen as you get older. You have less ability to do the action, and you get grumpier. So it's easier for me to move away from action into these darker roles. But I am truly, I'm being facetious. I'm so grateful, and this, festival and this award has given me an opportunity to think back to the amazing directors that I've worked with. Chris Nolan and Bryan Singer, Jim Mangold, Woody Allen and Darren Aronofsky, Baz Luhrmann, and you realize how lucky and how blessed I have been. And you're only as good as the role, the script, and the people you work with. And right now, I'll be honest, I'm getting more choice. I have to thank Kira. Ed McDonald, by the way, one of our producers, is here. For seeing perhaps in me that I could play this role when maybe others didn't. So I'm forever grateful for that. But it's a great luxury to be able to do different things with such great directors. And I can tell you, of course, you also Incendie, Denis' film. I've worked with great directors. He's a master. And I'm so honored to be in his first English-speaking film. And I say this so that he has to cast me in his next one. Okay.
I will love to, sir.
Mr. Jackman, it's a pleasure to talk to you. Two questions, very quick questions. The first of these is an interview in the past that you gave. You said that you did cinema because you wanted to be Jason in Friday the 13th. I'm not too sure whether we'll see you as Jason in Friday the 13th. And then Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, all of these characters have had different actors that have played the role. Will you ever get tired of Wolverine, and who do you believe would be the ideal character or actor to substitute you when you ever do get tired of Wolverine?
That's a good one.
Yeah. Maybe Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah.
No, it will
we'll
be
get him down from that tree, and we'll give him the claw.
I don't want to see Jake with claws. too dangerous, out of control.
When I was young, I loved horror movies. I loved them. But actually, if you really ask me who my sort of idols were or the reasons, it's funny that one of the recipients is of this award in the past is Gregory Peck, because he would be right up there for me. as one of my. When I saw him in To Kill a Mockingbird, that just blew me away. And from Harrison Ford in Raiders of the Lost Ark to I think when I first saw Deer Hunter with Robert De Niro. There's so many genuine and many British actors, because I spent a lot of years in England. Michael Gambon and Ian McKellen, Patrick Stewart, Ben Kingsley. You know, these are some of the actors I looked up to. And hey, I'm fully aware that Wolverine is one of the greater characters. I mean, it was the only part I was offered at the time, so I was going to take it regardless. But I actually I feel so lucky that I had that part. It's one of the great comic book characters. It's why it's been so popular in the comic books and why it's maybe lasted, I think, in the movies. And of course, the rule is, and you must always remember this, great parts always outlive the actors that play them. And if you forget that, that's at your peril. There will come a time, I feel it's coming. I'm not sure exactly when it is. I haven't made a decision beyond the X-Men movie that is coming out next May. I genuinely haven't. I'm just trying to step back. But it would have to be a very compelling reason for me to do it again. I've been playing for 14 years, and as for who to play it next, how about the gentleman here with the mutton chops? It looks like he's doing an audition already. Turn up, turn around. You have to stand up, yeah. Turn around. There's a camera right there. You have to... No. No, hey. Spanish Wolverine.
Hi, how are you? I have two questions for Hugh Jackman, because I already interviewed the great Dennis the other day. The first one is, I know that Gary Oldman used photos of his son in the set of Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, to help him get into the character. And I wonder if you have any practical tricks to helping you into those dark places. And then my two favorite movies from you are also the two best performances I think you've gave, which are The Fontaine and this one. And the two characters in this one have something in common. They are both fiercely convicted. They have a conviction to be the saviors of life. They want to make it bigger, larger, and richer. So, is there something that you specifically identify with this quest for life?
Yeah, great question, and I really appreciate your comparison, and thank you for mentioning about The Fountain. It's a movie I'm very proud of, made by Darren Aronofsky, and put a lot of work into that. And you know, there is a similarity in the obsession they both have. I'm quite a moderate person in life. I have always been attracted to these very passionate, and my wife is another one, very passionate, emotional, very sure and confident people. I understand that can be a curse as well, particularly when there's obstacles in your way. But there's something inspiring and heartbreaking, particularly in the character in Prisoners. He's someone who strives, I think, so hard every day, and life is not easy for him. It's not easy. He's a recovering alcoholic. He's a survivalist. He doesn't have faith in anybody else, and he's desperately trying to overcome his demons and his fears. He uses many things to do it, religion being one, but I always get the sense of a man who's really doing his best, and it's admirable to me, and it's so heartbreaking to watch it all unravel so quickly in the space of, you know, days in this movie. So, do I have a soft spot for them? Absolutely. Do I admire it? Absolutely. And as a person who in life, you know, a little boring, really. I'm a little very plain and even Steven. I do like these more extreme characters.
You're not boring.
According to my friends, I am boring.
There on the right.
Hello. Hi. It's a question for both of you, actually. I will go a little bit further. The first question. If personally you had to experience something similar, knock on wood, what would you do? And my second question is a little bit naive, but by watching the movie, which is actually brilliant, have you already prepared your Oscar speeches?
Can I take the last one?
Yeah.
We think we've already won. It's been a fantastic experience from the beginning. We're friends, we're having a great time. So this is all we need. This is it.
The thing is, no, I cannot. To be honest with you, cinema for me is a tool to explore deep fears that don't want to be in contact with. I mean, it's something though, so I cannot imagine myself in such a situation, such a horrific and the most terrifying situation I could imagine. I don't want to think about that. I make movies to explore those things.
Yeah, I often ask myself, why don't we just go and watch a comedy on Friday? Why do humans go to horrors or thrillers and I think, or these dramas? I think we do have collective fears that to get on with our lives day in, day out, we push down. And it's cathartic to make it, it's cathartic to act in it, it's cathartic to watch it. Certainly as an actor, I don't place myself in my imagination in that position. It's almost too strong an emotion and feels dangerous to play with that kind of thing. And if I could just add on the second part of your question, if I could tell a little story about the first day on set. I arrived on set, we were shooting the deer hunting scene. That was the first day, and on the way to set, they announced the nominations last year for the Oscars, and I found out that I was nominated, and I was sort of in character, not in character, but I was in my costume, and I was about to step out, and I was reeling, and I walked up to our great cinematographer, Roger Deakins, who had just received his 10th Oscar nomination. And I said, Roger, you and me, it's 11 nominations right here, you know. And I said, we should go together. And he goes, yeah, I don't think I'm going to go. I was like, oh, you don't believe in awards? Or he goes, no, we're working. I was like, yes, of course we're working. I pretty much had to take my tux off underneath my costume, you know, right there. I learned a good lesson from him. Just be happy, do, and just keep working. And everything else take care of itself.
Hola, Hugh.
Hi, Hugh. Just what a colleague said something before. You, as Wolverine, has gone beyond Batman, Supermans, and Spider-Mans with different faces, with different actors. I'm sure you've got the keys so that we can see the definitive crossover. I don't know what you meant there.
Can I just say, my translator said he's not sure what you meant there. So, can you explain again? I'm a little crossover. Make a crossover.
Yes,
we spent some months listening that you feel like to do a crossover or to change, I think, means to move. You've explained that perhaps the different studios could cause an alliance between a crossover between Spider-Man, Batman, and so. We believe that perhaps you've got the keys to that. And if your case, you do the crossover, at the end of the day, whether you would continue to play Wolverine.
Yeah, I understand. I have absolutely no power. I mention in places like this to maybe spark people, but here's what I think. Comic books, which I didn't grow up and now I read, one of the really cool things about comic books is the way they will throw Batman in with Wolverine or the Hulk with Wolverine, or all of a sudden you have, you know, different comic book characters coming together. And people ask me all the time, do you think Spider-Man could be Wolverine? It's just part of the DNA of the comics. And so, of course, I watch the Avengers and I think it'd be really cool just to, you know, turn up as Wolverine. By the way, I just remembered Marvel, Kevin Feige actually wanted me to do a little mini cameo without telling anybody on the very first Spider-Man. And what happened was they couldn't find my suit because it had been stolen from the first X-Men, so I couldn't turn up. But it might have happened without anyone knowing about it. But now there's so many people involved. From what I understand, so much politics. Honestly, I hope it can happen one day, but who knows? And no, I don't have the power to change that.
Hi, good afternoon. A question for Radio Manlleu. When you are saying that you are quitting Wolverine, are you thinking on what happened to actors such as Bela Lugosi or Johnny Weissmuller, who became insanely related to their characters? and
yeah, I take it back. I'm never leaving the character of Wolverine. No, I don't think I said I'm quitting Wolverine. Did I say I'm quitting Wolverine? Because no.
You said it will obviously happen one day.
It will happen one day. Yeah. I'm not sure when, but yes, that's a very good word of caution. Thank you very much. I will think even longer and harder about it.
And I have a question for the director. When you are filming with two stars such as Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman, and while you are editing the movie, when you are choosing the minutes for each character, are you thinking on the character for the movie, or are you thinking with the actors you have playing the characters? Thank you.
You mean how I edit the film? If I don't understand your question, because I apologize. It means you are asking me if when I edit the movie, if I'm thinking about the characters or the actors?
If the fact that you are managing two big stars.
Oh no!
You have to balance their minutes, they appear in the...
No. When my responsibility as a director is to take care of the film, not of the ego of my friends.
What?
No, I'm serious. I mean, as much as both of them, I deeply love them. It was the most beautiful cinematic experience of my life to put Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal in the same frame. The way those two actors, with all their talent and their passion, what they bring in front of the camera, for me was a pure pleasure, and I felt always it was a massive privilege. But once the movie's shot, I'm the dictator, and seriously, when I edit, it's for the sake of the movie. Yeah. Are you still my friend?
Yes.
Okay.
Hola.
Hi. Hi. A question for Hugh Jackman. You were the presenter of the Oscar Awards, Master of Ceremonies, and a very well-known and remembered night, and everybody, we who follow that night, we enjoyed it very much. Could you tell us what was that circus of being the Master of Ceremonies at the Oscar? Another question, you know, we sing, you dance, and you play good roles, and you know how to act. Have you ever been offered to do a musical Wolverine? Who knows?
I can guarantee that won't happen with me in it. I can guarantee you that. I'm going to tell you a more private moment of the Oscars. I'll tell you generally in a second, but the night I found out about the Oscars, I was on a press tour like this, and I was in London. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning after a premiere, and I got a phone call from Steven Spielberg's office saying, would you like to host the Oscars? And I thought it was a joke. I presumed it was someone in my team, you know, just razzing me at 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like, listen, what time do you need my bags in the hallway? Come on. It turned out it was for real. And I hung up the phone after saying yes. And I sat on the end of my bed for about 5 minutes, stunned, in shock, wondering why I said yes. And my wife walked in and she could see that I'd gone white, and she said, you okay? And I said, babe, you're about to get into bed with the host of the 81st Academy Awards. And she said, Billy Crystal's here? I swear to God, that was the first word. And she really made me laugh. And from that moment I thought, I'm going to have a good time. I've just got to have a good time. Not dissimilar the night, actually. I was feeling fine, actually, about it all. I was really looking forward to it, and realising that most of the people, I remember looking at Meryl Streep, looking up at me, going, I don't know why you said yes to this, but thank God it's not me. Good luck, you know, that sort of thing. People were very supportive. But I remember just before I walked on stage, all of a sudden, someone said to me, 30 seconds, 25 seconds. And I was just going into this abyss of fear. Like, what the hell am I doing? 15 seconds. Good luck out there. Don't forget there's 1 billion people watching you on TV. Good luck, Mr. J. And I turned back to Valdez and I was laughing. You ever played the tape? You see me walking on laughing, and that was the best thing that could have happened for me, because I might have completely frozen otherwise.
And what you did, honestly, I was watching you on TV, and it was very impressive. It's very impressive to do what you achieved on that night, because to do dancing, singing, and entertain people in such a show is one of the toughest things for an entertainer, and I was very impressed, I must say. I never told you that.
No, you haven't. Thank you.
Back on the left.
Hola.
Hi. Good afternoon. To the director, I can't ask you a question because I didn't see your movie, unfortunately, but I've got to ask the question to Hugh Jackman. All right?
It's very like Australia. No one cares about the rules, do they? So, I'm not allowed to ask a question? No worries. Yep, my question.
Okay, congratulations for the Donosti Award. And the question, what director would you like to work with that you've not worked with yet? Okay. Oh.
One of my favourite directors is an Australian director called Peter Weir. I think he's made so many incredible movies. He's one of the few people who just makes movies when he feels the inspiration. He always takes a break. He has great family life. He is someone who can make Poets Society and Witness and Gallipoli and all these, Fearless, just incredible range of movies. He's someone I would ideally love to work with.
Yeah.
Adelante, sí.
Does it work?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, working with or playing such a tormented character as you do in this movie, how did that affect your normal life, or did it? Can you say something about that? How did it make you feel to play such a man in such grief?
The job is to pretend, right, as convincingly as you can. And when you're doing it right, with the right people, and a lot of people assume that in order to do that, you have to dive into yourself. But my experience is quite different. It's more about diving into the actors opposite you, that includes the crew, the director, and not being afraid of opening up your own defenses as a person and showing your heart and vulnerabilities and fears. And it ultimately, the act of doing that is tiring and draining, but it's cathartic. When you're doing it right, I'll go home at night and feel like I've played a game of rugby, but I've had a bath and I feel fantastic. In the same way that in life, sometimes you can cry and an hour later you feel fantastic. And it's a little similar. Acting is a great privilege because you get to travel, you get to be other people without having to go through, thankfully in this case, the actual situation. It is cathartic, and I think that's why I do it, and that's why we listen to stories and go to the theatre and watch movies, is we want to exercise all of these emotions that are within us all the time. So I hope that answers it.
It was actually quite a light set, really, for being such a dark movie.
It
we
was.
were not
Yeah.
heavy and intense, and the actors didn't go to their corners and say, I want to be left alone, don't talk to me before I come out. It was very jovial and positive.
Yeah.
You know what I realized, guys? I just realized something. The last time we were just the three of us together, well, you are there, but just the three of us, it was in your house in New York, and that was the birth of the project.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what the first time we met, Kira and I went to Hugh's house, and you had the generosity to say yes to our project, and that was the last time we were just the three of us.
That's true. Yeah. You're all welcome to my house, by the way, next time. Okay.
Did we give birth yet?
Yes.
No, your head is there.
I don't think this is on.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
It's on.
Congratulations on the movie. Actually, this question is for the three of us, because I thought the base of the movie, the screenplay, was an awesome screenplay. So I kind of wanted to know how each one of you came in contact with that material and what made you want to do the movie. Yeah, that's it.
I think we should start.
About 4.5 years ago, I received a script from someone. It was The Script Prisoners. Very similar to what you see on the screen, not hugely different. And as a mother with 2 small children myself, I read it and I immediately said, no, I can't make this. I don't want to be involved in something so scary, so intense. But I kept thinking about how well written it was and how I couldn't figure out who the twists and turns in the movie. And ultimately, I felt I had to pass it on to the financiers of the movie because I knew it was a great piece of material. And I did, and several years later, we found Denis, and he came on board to be our leader. So it's been an evolution.
Me, I read the script and the same as Kira, I read it, I said it's fantastic, but no, I don't want to do this, it's too dark and too violent, because I was just out of two movies that had similar qualities, I mean, talking about darkness. And, but again, it was such a powerful story, and it was something really meaningful about our world today. So I just felt in love, and I did it. And I think what I brought to the project in some ways is, as much as the script was very well written, and the thriller elements were all there, very strong. So I just, as a director, I took care of the drama of the characters, trying to give them space and to listen to them as much as I could, because the drama aspect of the screenplay, that's where, for me, was that's where the meaning was. That's what I want to take, the art of the movie was, and that's what I want to take care of.
A little different to these two. I wanted to do the script when I read it. I knew it was great. I could feel there was an unconventional thriller there, but I didn't sign on until Kira brought Denis, until Denis came on board. It was, well, I knew that Denis was there because I knew it would take an unconventional director as well, someone who has great heart and great sensitivity, great understanding of film language, and could simultaneously make it entertaining and thrilling and nail-biting, but also make it a movie as much about what happens to everyone around the crime, not just the crime itself, and make it very thought-provoking. And the moment I saw Incendie, I didn't tell this to Denis, but I'd made up my mind before I even took the meeting, but I made him probably sweat for 20 minutes or so, maybe 15. But I just knew he was the right person.
It's actually interesting because this movie could probably be made many different ways, and I think the three of us and our other producers really felt like we didn't want to make the version of the movie that was a very straightforward genre typical version of this movie. All of us saw something more in it, and of course Denis is who we felt could deliver that, and he has such a sensitivity to violence, and we didn't want something that was over the top, gratuitous, inappropriate. We felt that his artistry could see that and take it to a different level that was what we have now.
Hola, buenas.
Hi. A question. Sorry. Hugh Jackman, I'd like to ask you a question. Your character, you share very visceral scenes with the... What was it like to work with in those scenes? And the director, could you talk about all of the symbology within the film? Let us say the maze is quite present there, and also you talks about the issue of this. Talk about the snakes. That way of linking these two worlds for the symbology of the film. I would like you to explain that a bit, if you could.
Sorry, were you referring to the scenes with Paul Denner?
In the
Yes, yes.
Denis, I'm grateful that Denis left those scenes to the end. I never fully asked you why you left them all to the end, but I'm grateful. I'd actually like to know why. Yeah,
Studio,
okay.
because we were fighting against winter, so I wanted to have as much rainy days and shit coming out of the sky as possible available for me. So I left the studio at the end of the shoot.
Got it. There you go.
Yeah. But there was always us. I apologize, my friend. It's also it's true that the idea to be all the crew being warm up and ready to go in that space of violence, I think was also one of the main ideas, just to keep it at the end, so we will be everybody ready to do it.
Most of those scenes were in the last 2 weeks, and the bathroom itself was on a stage. It was built, and it was really intense. It was very, very tiring. These cameras, I've forgotten the name of the camera. It sounded like something from Wolverine right there.
Censorship.
Yeah. The name
Alexa?
Alexa. The Alexa cameras allow you, the digital cameras allow you to shoot for 20 minutes. It's not nearly as much setup time or changing magazines, so we would just go and Denis would run. So often we'd be in those rooms and doing long takes. It was physically tiring, it was emotionally exhausting, and I'll tell you one little story to illustrate what a great director this man is. The scene, sorry mate, you haven't seen it yet, so you may want to close your ears here, but the scene with the hammer, in that, if you've seen the film, you probably remember it. The take before the one that is in the film, I was so tight and so wrung out. And honestly, I thought secretly, oh, we've got it. I think we got it. I think that was it. And Denis was walking over, very much with a smile like that on his face, and I was sure he was going to come and say, you know, merci, merci, très bien, it's okay, we've done it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. He says 7 love it's when he really loves it. If he only says 5, like he did that, it means not nearly good enough. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. But, and he said, my friend, I need you to go there. And all I kept thinking was, that wasn't there, you know. And so he pushed me to go further, to go beyond, and to just abandon myself. And you can only do that when you have a great actor like Paul, who is so trusting, particularly with an enraged guy who plays Wolverine with a hammer in his hand. You know, it's not easy. And everything that happened in that scene, including me destroying the wall, which I don't think impressed the set directors because we had no other wall, none of that was planned. And actually the miracle of that scene, if you think about it, is the way Paul Dano reacted. I mean, that hammer was far too close to his head. I was a bit embarrassed about it afterwards. It was like this close, and he immediately just slowly fainted down the wall. Like, he didn't jump or flinch. He was just so in there and so trusting.
About the images in the movie, I like those kind of images, like the snake and the maze, are images that were in the screenplay and that were very important for the screenwriter. And I discussed a lot about those images with him. But those images are interesting in a way that they are the way they impress the audience and the way what the poetic impact of those images. So I like the fact that the audience takes the meaning of has to create its own meaning out of it. It's a bit like the spider and enemy, you know. It's like those kind of images. It's better if I let you free to see what you want, honestly. I can explain everything about the movie, but not the snake. I won't.
We actually found out yesterday in Germany that Hugh's character is named Keller, means basement in German.
Yeah.
And we've all been talking about whether the screenwriter already knew that, which we suspect he did. But there's a lot of symbolism in the movie.
Muy bien, por motivos de agenda.
Okay, due to the agenda of our invited guests, we have to finish. Thank you very much.